Welcome to the Eli Liviz Entertainment Channel, and here I'm going to bring you the truth and call out, no disrespect, some of these online influencers that I call a swamp trap. Respectfully, talk about a lot of things, but really they have no idea what they're talking about. Here's an example of one of them. Let's hear Natalie Dawson, what she has to say.
I have studied hundreds of high-level executives and business owners, and this one thing is what separates them: their ability to make fast decisions. They look at a problem and make a decision very quickly. They ask for the right data, only the data that they need. They don't sit there and go back and forth and waffle. They get the data and then they make a decision. So if you're struggling making a decision, ask yourself, what data do I actually need in order to make the best decision possible? And once you have that data, you make the decision.
All right, respectfully. First, let's address the fact that Natalie says that she studied hundreds of executives. Respectfully, that's a red herring. You could study, 1,000 executives and know nothing, and study one executive and know everything. So right off the bat, you already know that this is somebody giving themselves credibility. You should listen to me because I studied hundreds of executives. Well, no, you should listen to me because I studied thousands of executives. Or you should just listen to me because I never studied executives at all, but I know what I'm talking about. So that's a red herring. So you should right off the rip say, wait a minute, if you really know what you're talking about, why are you trying to sell it to me? Then, of course, you throw in the jet. What does a jet have to do? Sounds to me like really good editing. But let's skip that. So she says that real good executives make quick decisions. Respectfully, I disagree. That's really not accurate. It's what real good executives, and there's plenty of executives out there that make quick decisions and it resulted in a company going down south, boo, because they were recruited from within, boo, and they've had blinders on like a horse, so they only knew what they were privy to for the past 30 years, boo. A good executive is somebody who has a very general, broad education, because after a while everything starts to repeat itself and it's just different window dressing. And what happens is that you're able to process things very quickly, so you have an appearance of quick decision making, but what you're really doing is you are determining whether it's something can be determined at that point, or it's something that needs to take your time and determine it later. Now, a lot of times decisions are made quickly because as you look at it, you recognize immediately, hey, I don't have everything in front of me. Or, hey, this is important. Maybe I need to get like going to a doctor, a second opinion. How would you know what data to collect? How would you know the level of importance if you don't have that general knowledge to fully understand how to problem solve this particular puzzle? So a good executive is somebody who has the general knowledge and understanding to be able to tackle any problems that presented before them. And when they're making decisions, hey, I need you to collect that data, they're actually not able to collect the data on their own. They're actually reaching out to an expert. They could do better, but they know when they look at it, they'll be able to utilize it in their decision making as to, hey, do I have enough? Or is this something serious that respectfully a good executive knows I should take my time and sleep on it? If it's something as simple as determining 1-ply or 2-ply toilet paper for the restroom versus actually something that concerns HR or a big contract dealing, concerning a big amount of monies. So respectfully to all those that are trying to become good executives and want real good advice, remember, all those classes that you took that you thought you don't need help to generalize your understanding of life and everything around you. And if you are facing a situation and you feel like, wow, this is important, don't be afraid to say, this seems like a very important topic and I don't know what the answer is at the moment. And, of course you can move to, let's see if we can collect more data. Or you can, if you collected all the data that you think and you still think it's important, you can say, you know what? Because this is important, and of course you're going to say, when is the deadline? If the deadline is in a week, you got plenty of time. If the deadline is tomorrow, then you have to ask this next question. What happens if we miss the deadline? If you miss the deadline and you have the ability to extend the deadline, then you're not really missing the deadline. That's some of the things that you have to consider. And how do you know what to consider? You got to have that general knowledge. Because then you're going to say, wait a minute, I have time to say, hey, I'm going to sleep on this one because this is important. So respectfully, Natalie, I disagree with you. And to those that want to be executives, you have to build up the knowledge to be able to know when to make a quick decision and when to take your time. If you liked what you heard, please share, like, and subscribe. I can put up a lot of these more videos. I'm going to keep it real, tell the truth. And if the audience reception is one that appreciates it, I will be more than happy to do it. Thank you for joining.